Good morning, my name's Eric.
I'm Cole.
And welcome to day 3 of our trip to Texas.
We didn't really film an intro at the border there. We were trying to get out of there as quick as we could, so we're filming it from here in Great Falls.
Bit of a spoiler, I guess, that we're in Great Falls, but we're about to kick off, hit the road. So you guys will see us traveling from the border to, where was it again?
Shelby,
little pit stop there. Then we made our way here to Great Falls, and then today we're probably going to head all the way down to, big journey, all the way to Billings.
Oh.
Maybe Shelby, I don't know.
Sheridan.
Oh.
So yeah, we don't know. We're gonna see how we're doing for time. We might go to Billings today, or we might push through and hit Sheridan, Wyoming.
But you guys will find out probably before we do, so.
So we made it across the border.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this quick because the audio is gonna be pretty bad, but as you can tell from the background, we have made it into the US. The border agent we got, awesome dude, looked at his passports, told him what we're doing here, and he said, awesome, like head out the door.
Didn't even have to wait around for an hour and a half.
We waited around for an hour and a half until that guy picked up our passports and figured it out.
Yeah. Yep. Next stop, Great Falls. Hey, so just going through some editing here, and it looks like we lost the footage for our stop in Stanford at R Bar Cafe. Great little place. Our server was an absolute character, Patty. And then we were out in the parking lot. Some nice old guy came by, stopped, said hello, and wanted to chat about the International.
This is breakdown number 2. And it appears as though the crank pulley it's a balancer for the crank. So it has a rubber, well, it's kind of like a
dampening.
It's like a sleeve that goes around around the pulley, and it helps like control the vibrations in the motor. And it appears as though the rubber fell out or melted out or something.
So we're about 5 miles to Billings,
which is a great place to have this break, I guess. I'm sure they'll have a store that has a replacement for that.
You got about half the rubber left. So not movable or movable?
Sorry?
Movable or not movable?
Oh, I doubt it. It was running terribly.
Still gonna be wobbly, but we'll just see what happens. Well, bear with us while we figure out what to do. So Eric's gonna go take the Jeep to town and go find the parts. Bye for now, we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, sounds good.
So while he's gone, I'm gonna start ripping this thing apart for him. All right, so I'm starting to get these bolts out. I got 2 of them out, but I think we have bigger issues than we thought. So come take a look at this. See that dampener right there? That shouldn't be doing that. Still have 2 of the bolts in. So false alarm. I think it is just the pulley that's absolutely scrapped. Can't replicate that that play I had in it, but that crank's not moving anywhere, so guess I should call Eric and let him know.
So we're gonna try this again with the right part.
That's a fancy new pulley. How much did I pay for that one?
Was it 250 bucks American? So
pretty expensive.
all right. In the backyard?
Right here. This little guy just got dinner while we were sitting here.
So before we put the tools away this time, we'll check to see if this thing actually runs well.
Take 2.
know, it kind of sounds funny now that it's actually running correctly.
You're off a rib on your AC, but I think that's just how it should be.
Until we switch it.
Sorry?
Well, I don't know if I want to wait for this belt to explode or we should switch it.
Keep this as a spare, grab a new one tomorrow.
I already have a new one.
Grab another new one tomorrow.
This is gonna put me in the poorhouse.
Yeah, so we just changed the fuel filter and water separator on the white Dodge, and it seems to be running good.
Yes, but just to be sure, we're gonna take it into town just for like a little errand. We're gonna see if it continues to run well or if it has more issues, and then we'll go from there. But I'm hoping we got this problem licked so that we can get back on the road so you guys can see what you actually want to see.
More of this beautiful country.
More of the beautiful country, yeah. So a lot of guys, they'll run a unit like this. It's called a FAS.
It's the brand.
That's the brand name. You can get a, what was the other, Water Dog or?
Air Dog.
Air Dog. But it like replaces the Dodge factory lift pump and fuel filter that's usually in the engine bay. And it kind of just relocates it down there. You'll see from professionals that you don't really need a unit like this until you get into higher horsepower, but it's kind of just like a peace of mind thing. It's a lot easier to change out and drain the water out of the water separator, which I haven't been doing, which is probably what caused this in the first place. But
why we're here. Yep. I'm gonna fire it up.
Yeah.
Give this a listen and see how much better this is sounding. And we'll see if it fires up nice. Fires right up, smooth as a kitten.
All right. Howdy folks, welcome to day 4 of our road trip to Texas.
Yep, we're sitting in Billings right now, as you probably know, and we're headed to Buffalo, Wyoming today.
It should be a quick, I think, 2-hour trip down the road.
Barring any
Please,
breakdowns.
please. And then yeah, nice short little trip, and then we'll set up camp and we'll probably see you guys again there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to try maybe loosening the bottom one and sliding that thing up more, or sliding it off the top a bit?
Seems to me like the bottom one, you see how it's kind of coming in like this? I think we need to rotate it so it's coming up. Because you see how this naturally wants to go like that. They're gonna think we're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, right. Oh, another little issue. Oh. I'm sure.
Nobody breaks down that much. Does that feel happier?
It feels happier.
Okay, I'm gonna tighten this guy down.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you should just be able to slide that guy on. So glad we found these. Does that feel better?
I don't know yet.
Well, you don't have to hold it on to tighten it anymore. So.
Okay.
You betcha.
I had a half ton nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always been a Dodge guy. I don't know, one Q12 valve.
Such a hard color to find. Hey?
Yeah, I saw it and I thought it was like, holy shit.
That's so rare.
Yeah, I had one the same color with a half ton.
Yeah.
Everyone made fun of it. I loved
come on.
it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. What do you guys?
Yeah. Moving to Texas. So.
That's what it is.
Yeah. We're throwing it all on YouTube, filming everything, and
Sweet, I might have to cash up a
Yeah,
lot
man.
to live free.
sir.
Sweet. Hell yeah, what you guys got going on?
Oh, you know, just our third breakdown of the trip. Blew what Bustos off. You're gonna be on camera if you don't mind. Yeah, so.
P-Pump.
Yeah, P-Pump 24 valve.
Oh yeah, I've never had one of those. My last 24 valve was, what was it? Had one bad VP44 in it, and then it was an S476 over in
Oh yeah.
S463.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a compound saddle by a
Yeah.
to shifter in
Nice.
Stage 5 Suncoast Trans. It still
slick.
didn't. It was on 40s and it barely would get out of its own way. But no, they're fun. Yeah, well, good luck to you guys. You guys do your safe.
Thanks, man.
Have a good
We're gonna need it. All right, I think that's on. Now you're not gonna see us until we get to Buffalo. For sure this time.
All right, so we're thinking that there's too much oil on that
Should we put spray adhesive on it?
Don't know if we have any. I'm gonna get you a ratchet to hand tighten them too.
Yeah.
Both of those are clean.
Do we push that further down or what?
What?
This guy. You just want to give me a flathead?
Yep. Down there.
Is that good?
That's good. pretty good. Don't snap it. Can you hand tighten that one too?
No. Please don't happen again.
So everything's cleaned up, put back on, and we're gonna try this again.
Well, folks, welcome to Wyoming.
We made it here, so we're gonna end this here and check back in next time and see what happens to us in Wyoming.